I'm here with, and let me know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir.
Moir, yeah.
Moir. Of Canada after a astounding short dance and just breaking records, breaking hearts even, I'd say out there. And if this interview seems overly familiar, that's because it is. And to be, to have some journalistic integrity, I want to talk about how the process of taking music and transforming it into a program comes about, because in watching this program it feels like Prince took the idea of his lyrics and the musicality and shaped it into an ice dancing program and put it directly onto the ice. and every moment is meaningful and with the music, and you can see the connection, you can see the way the two of you are using each other to accomplish that. And so as a fan of ice dancing, I think I'm grateful to have a program like that brought to the World Championships. So talk about that process, because it's intense and there's a lot of questioning, but at the end of the day you come to Worlds and it obviously comes together.
I think there's some pressure when you take on skating to a performer like Prince, because he's so iconic and everyone conjures their own image of what that means, what Prince stood for. And I think one of the first things we discussed as we were starting the choreography process was that balance between masculinity and femininity, and that's kind of the inception of the hip-hop portion was, how do we create something that dances that isn't overly sexual, but it hits the music and kind of plays with that line, and kind of goes out to the audience but really comes back to each other. So I think that was really interesting, and I mean we have to give credit to Sam Schwinnard, our hip-hop coach, and Marie-France Dubray for the vision of this, kind of melding it all together.
Absolutely. I'd say one of the hardest parts too is just cutting the music down. I mean, we totally feel like we'll have to answer to Prince. We keep saying that, like one day down the road, in the afterlife, we'll have to answer to Prince, and he's not going to be very happy with us cutting Purple Rain down to 45 seconds. But everything that he does is just a masterpiece. So trying to make those fit together. Actually, once we got the music cut, the movement seemed to come together pretty naturally. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think sort of past that into the top down look on your return, so much of what we do is difficult, and I heard you talking about it in some other interviews. It's hard, you're nervous, there's incredible expectations that come along with it, and yet it gives you so much. It gives you purpose, it gives you life, it gives you energy. So without taking my words that I've just given you, talk about what figure skating gives you and why you're grateful to be able to return to competition.
I think a big part of our return has to do with our fresh perspective, which is funny then in seeing you here and thinking back kind of to the 8-9 years that we were kind of head to head at the top of our game, and truly taking a step back and appreciating what a great ride that was, and kind of that is our advantage over some of these younger teams is you realize kind of what a blessing it is, to have great competitors, to be able to be healthy at a World Championships, to be able to give your best. And, that's kind of why you see the emotion in the ending position, because so much has to go right in order to be able to have a skate like that at Worlds. So, that's kind of the perspective we're trying to keep fresh. And we keep saying, like, we have to keep reminding each other, because it's easy to get wrapped up as a competitor. You always want to win, and that's the gold medal is the be all end all. But at the same time, you need to remember that it's a sport, it's beautiful, and we do it because we love it. And I think that's what's probably our strongest attribute right now.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Tessa?
No, I mean, as you were talking, I was just thinking about last year being in Boston for Worlds and sitting as a fan and watching, and I think that perspective, taking in the energy, and we talked a lot about that. We didn't want to take ourselves too seriously coming back. I mean, we want to be very dedicated athletes, that's for sure, but when the time comes to perform, we really wanted to be able to take it in and enjoy it, and I think we put ourselves in that position thanks to the training.
Yeah, and I think sort of a common thread through a lot of the interviews that I'm doing and a lot of the success that we're seeing is this healthy perspective on sport and how it interacts with your life. So I know you guys got more work to do. We're going to be wishing you a lot of good luck. Fantastic program, and good luck in the free dance, guys. Thanks,
We
guys.
missed you up there.
Oh, thank you.
I was really trying to work in a name joke, but